everybody and welcome back to another video. Today is Welcome Home Mango. Hi Mango. So this is Mango. She is our little baby sunconure. She is 2 months old and she's actually still being formula fed. So she's really young. It's been a completely new experience for the both of us. We're learning to formula feed, which I will definitely be dropping a video next week or something when I have time, because honestly I didn't find so much information about formula feeding and I had to do a lot of research on my own, but I learned a lot and I was just hoping I could help anyone else who has a 2-month-old who needs to be formula fed for a little bit longer. So it has been quite an experience having a 2-month-old baby. I thought having a 4-month-old when we got Kiwi was already an experience on its own. And they're already bonding and getting to know each other. Oh my goodness. So you can see them in the back. We're still introducing pellets to Mango, but Mango likes to follow Kiwi around. Kiwi likes to follow Mango around. Kiwi actually thinks Mango is his mate for whatever reason. So Kiwi thinks we brought him home a girlfriend, pretty much. So they're actually doing really well, better than we thought. Kiwi by nature is very aggressive and territorial, so we were really scared when getting Mango that we were gonna face Kiwi being very aggressive, and if Mango got near Kiwi's cage that he would probably fight her off. And he's been relatively good. We still keep an eye on him because sometimes he does have his moments where he'll try and scare her off or something, and we separate them. And Kiwi's also in his phase where he's very hormonal, so he's trying to mate with Mango at times, and when we pick up those cues we have to separate them because we don't want anything happening, especially because Mango's just 2 months old. So pretty much this video is not only a welcome home Mango video, but also just how to introduce your birds to each other. Not all birds are going to be the same. Some birds might react in a way that you expected based on their personality, and some might completely surprise you. I know that Kiwi entirely surprised us. He's trying to feed Mango, he's very attentive with Mango, preens Mango all the time, but definitely the first time we got Mango, Kiwi was definitely on edge, but now Kiwi is more open and even likes to sleep with Mango, which is really cute. So when introducing your birds to each other, the protocol usually is that when you bring a new bird home, you're supposed to quarantine them in a separate room. That way for about 2 weeks to a month, that way in case they show any signs of illness, it doesn't go on to your bird. Frankly, we live in a pretty small basement and we don't really have another room to put Mango in, so we just put Mango's cage on the other side. Clearly we did not follow this protocol. I know a lot of people in the comments will probably say, oh, it's better to. Usually the next thing you're supposed to do is keep your birds apart for about a month, just so they get used to having each other's presence and seeing them. Again, we didn't really do this either. But that's just because it was kind of an instant connection between the two. Obviously, it's very dangerous to take this risk like we did. It's a lot easier if you have 2 people with you to watch over them, because sometimes it's really hard to be watching over them just yourself, because you have to be ready to separate them immediately. Oh my goodness. Kiwi, don't push Mango off. So you have to be ready to separate them immediately in case they're being aggressive. And you kind of have to be watching them at all times when they're out together, and you have to be present in the room. It is never advised that you leave 2 birds alone by themselves, because they can be a little unpredictable. I know a lot of the times, most of the time Mango and Kiwi are getting along, and then suddenly Kiwi will just get aggressive with Mango and we have to separate them. So you don't want to not be in the room while that happens in order to keep your birds safe. Again, every bird is different, every interaction is different. Your birds might get along, your birds might not get along. It may take them a really long time to get along. Some birds just never get along. Some birds see each other as mates, some see them as friends, some see them as enemies. Some birds will bond to the other bird and forget about you, kind of like Kiwi did with me. So before you decide to get another bird, make sure you have the time to dedicate to the process of, you know, getting them to know each other. Make sure you have the space, as you will need another cage, more space for them to roam around. Make sure you have the money, because another bird means another vet trip, which means more food, more toys, more expenses. And also the other thing is just try and consider if you want to, because a lot of times get a bird for yourself. But I also, you know, wanted a bird for a long time, but I wasn't sure Kiwi wanted a friend as well, because, you know, they also have to coexist. So Kiwi really gave us a sign letting us know that he wanted a friend. If a lot of you guys follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you probably saw a video I posted of Kiwi following a little dove up the stairs and trying to be friends with it, and it flew away. A lot of you guys commented, get him a friend, get him a friend, get him a friend. And honestly, after that day I realized, yeah, I think Kiwi really wants a friend. Which is true, because the second we brought Mango home, Kiwi was like, friend. First, this has been a little overwhelming for Mango. Mango, you know, sometimes gets a little overwhelmed because Kiwi can be really intense with Mango. Always constantly following her, wanting to be next to her, preying her, have her attention. And Mango is still new, so Mango just wants a little bit of space sometimes, a little bit of her own time. And honestly, I didn't feel like I would be brave enough to get a second bird if it wasn't for having my boyfriend around. And that's when I was able to feel confident enough to take care of a second bird, because especially if you get a 2-month-old bird, it's a lot of work. It's basically like having a newborn baby, especially since you know, I'm in school, I'm working, plus the 2 little babies. It helps a lot when I'm not home for someone else to be home, because as you guys know, I really don't like keeping my birds locked in their cages. It's just not something I like to do unless it's really absolutely necessary. Oh, you okay? So it's always nice to have someone at home watching them, keeping care of them, so I don't have to worry that they're going to maybe get aggressive with each other. So when getting another bird, you want to make sure that they're never caged together immediately, or, you know, unless they bond like as mates, just ever, because they can get aggressive, they can get territorial. I know Quaker parrots are extremely territorial, and sunconures are also known to be very territorial. So you definitely want to make sure that they have their own space, their own home, and to know that that's their place and that's their place. A way to get them to bond, if they're not like, you know, Kiwi and Mango that bonded like almost instantly in a day, but we're still reinforcing their bond, and these are just methods that we've used, which is having them share food, giving them the same treats, having them play with the same toys. That definitely reinforces that a lot. I'll have a lot of the times Mango on one shoulder, my boyfriend will have Kiwi on the other, vice versa, and you know, just being in the same room, kind of knowing that, like, you know, they're both like loved, just, I don't know, helps them bond. And when getting another bird, you have to really make sure you don't break your routine with your old bird and you stop giving them attention, because I know getting a new bird is really exciting, you want to give them all their attention, but your other bird could put up a jealous act and see the new bird as a threat, someone that's going to replace them. So you got to be really careful to continue your routine with your old bird, to keep loving your bird, giving them lots of attention and dividing that attention. Now, of course, the only difference is you're not going to have as much time with your old bird, because you do need to bond with your new bird as well. So it's kind of like having 2 kids, right? You want to just divide your attention and try and get them to bond so you can give your attention to both of them. Now, frankly, I thought this would happen, that when I would give Mango attention, Kiwi would get jealous, but oh, Mango, it ended up actually being the opposite. Whenever I give Mango attention, Kiwi comes to give Mango attention and doesn't really mind that I'm giving Mango attention, since Kiwi's seeing Mango as a mate. Remember, every bird is different, so bonding process is going to be different for every bird. Some birds are going to take a lot longer than others, so be patient. I say this a lot with a lot of my videos. A lot of bird training and, you know, taking care of birds is just about patience. Don't expect, you know, expect kind of the worst when getting a second bird, that they're not gonna bond. You gotta be prepared for the worst case scenario. You know, that way you're not expecting, you know, like maybe them to bond on the first day and then you get disappointed and you're like, oh, but I saw, like, you know, someone else's birds bond on the same day, why aren't mine bonding? And then you start comparing. You know, just keep in mind, like they're all different, they all need their separate time, and that's okay. Every bird is different, but they eventually will. And one last thing to add in the younger you bring in a new bird to... The younger your bird is and you bring a new bird home, the easier the bonding process will be. The longer time a bird is alone, the more territorial they can become. If they're opposite gender, the more sexually frustrated they'll become. So Kiwi right now is about 9 months old. 10 months old now. And Mango is 2 months old, which is a pretty okay time, but it makes the bonding process easier. But if you were, let's say, to bring a new bird to a bird you've had for, let's say, 5 years or something, bonding process might take a bit longer because now in their eyes, this is very much their territory. They've been around for a really long time. You're their property, you know. It might be like an intruder. Of course, it's different in every situation, but that's just usually kind of a relative mindset. So to anyone who's getting another bird, just my main highlighted point today is please, please, please always keep an eye on them. Be so ready to separate them in case they start to get aggressive, and just some aggressive behaviors that you'll see from them. One very shy one is picking at their feet. If they're picking at each other's feet, that is a subtle sign of aggression. You know, it's never just, you know, like trying to bite each other's neck off. It can be anything from pecking the feet to, you know, wrestling each other. So hopefully you give that a read so you can watch out for those things, and definitely just separate them when those things are happening, because a lot of times they are very subtle and you're not going to realize. You know, so just the best way to prevent any harm to your birds. I don't want anyone to get injured. I don't want your birds to get injured. Just having a safe bonding process. So yeah, that was today's video. For everyone who already follows us on Instagram and TikTok, you already knew about Mango, but for everyone who didn't, well, here's Mango. So make sure to give it a like, thumbs up, and subscribe if you enjoyed and want to see more of our little happy family. Make sure to follow Kiwi and Mango's Instagram. I've changed their username to now just be like one together Instagram. I just wanted to put their stuff together. It's just easier that way. Make sure to follow us on TikTok if you want to see more of what their little babies are doing. Make sure to follow me on my Instagram if you want to see more of me. And yeah, thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye.